Hi, I'm Keith and I'm going to show you how to change the spin-on fuel filter on a Ditch Witch SK755. The tools you need for this are, we'll have to use an extension because it's a little bit further down. It's going to be pouring everywhere, and when we go to remove this filter on the next service, it'll come off a lot easier. So the next thing we're going to want to do is you want to lift the arm up out of the way because you're going to need to access in the side of each side, and this arm and cylinder will be coming your way on both sides. There's a safety on each side, so when you lift it up, we can put a safety in and we don't have to worry about it coming down while we're working underneath it. Now that it's all the way up, we can safely pull the safety release pin. Let this safety drop down. Now what this safety does is if the arm starts to come down, it'll bottom out here and it won't be able to come down very far. I'll actually show you. See, as it hit here, it can't come down any further. I'm going to put the safety down on both sides. Now you don't need to have it resting against the bottom. It's there just in case the arm starts to come down. I personally like to leave it as high as it can to be completely out of my way. If you want to put it right down onto the safeties, that's not a problem either. But either way, if both these safety bars are down in this position, this arm cannot come down and do any damage or hurt anybody. Now I already have this machine warmed up, so I don't need to leave it running for very long. If it was cold, today is a little bit of a colder temperature, I would leave this machine running for at least 10 to 15 minutes before you start your service. Next, you're going to open the hood. We're going to put a safety in to hold it up. In a normal case, you have a safety lever over here, a locking pin that slides over and locks. On this particular machine, that's damaged, so what I've done is I've just put a punch on this side, holds the hood up, it's safe, the punch can't come out, and I can work in here without having to worry that the hood is going to come down on me or the arm is going to come down on me. The tools you need for this are the same as the engine oil filter and other filters. We have a strap wrench that we can use to pull the fuel filter off. Now we'll have to use an extension because it's a little bit further down, and then a ratchet that goes on to the assembly. That's one way to do it. If you don't have a strap filter wrench, that's fine. There are other ways. We also have a set of filter pliers here. They have small jaws. They're designed to get around a filter and grip on filters to be able to crack them loose and spin them off. If you don't have one of these, which you can, if you wanted to get it, you can get it at any local tool supply place. They're not a super uncommon tool at all. And the next set is a common pair of channel lock pliers or pump pliers. They're adjustable. You can get in there, grab onto the filter and loosen them off. On smaller units like this machine, a lot of times it's tough to get a big pair in there. The jaws are a lot bigger. There's fuel lines right there. So in this case, I'm going to use a pair of filter pliers and we're going to crack it loose with the filter pliers. Before we pull the fuel filter off, this machine, because the fuel filter is a lot lower than the fuel tank, as soon as we crack this filter loose and we break the seal and we start spinning it off, we're going to have fuel coming out. It's going to be pissing everywhere. It's going to be pouring everywhere. So we want to make sure that we're ready for that so we don't make a mess on the ground or anything. In this case, I have a drain pan underneath here. I have absorbable pads that absorb diesels and oils, and that's just to contain any mess that we make. So because we know that when I take this fuel filter out, we're gonna have fuel coming out constantly, I like to set up my filter and have it ready to go beforehand. So we take it out of the packaging, and I like to fill the fuel filter up with clean diesel. Now that we know it's full, we also need to lubricate the seal. So we use the clean diesel, we lubricate the seal, and now this fuel filter is ready to go on for when I pull the old one off. I'm going to use my filter strap wrench. Now that we've cracked it loose, I can pull the tool off. I can spin it off by hand now. I have the new one ready to go already, so we can get it on right away. Now you don't want to use a tool to tighten this filter up. We only want it as tight as you can get it by hand. It doesn't do any damage to the seal or threads, and when we go to remove this filter on the next service, it'll come off a lot easier. Now that we're done everything, we're going to close this thing up. First, we close the hood. Next, we want to lift the safety bars. And we want to safely lower the bucket to the ground. And that's how you change the spin-on fuel filter on a Ditch Witch SK755. If this video helped you, please like, comment, and subscribe.